We were down at San Diego Comic-Con and had the opportunity to stop by Fandom's 20th anniversary party, which included a special performance by Jason Derulo. We also talked to some of the titans of Comic-Con about their first pop culture passions. Let's take a first look.
What do you consider your first fandom?
Oh, wow. I mean, it was probably Star Trek The Next Generation because I had such a crush on Riker and Picard. It was my child fixation. And since I've met them many times, well, I lost my ability to speak when I met Picard, Patrick Stewart. And then
Sir Pat can still get it.
Oh, he is just oozing it. And then I've worked with Jonathan Frakes many times. He's directed me, and I've just seen him, and he is like still so charming. And I sometimes forget. I'm like, oh, he's so hot. I forget. And then I'm like laughing. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm with him.
Several, but I think superheroes was my first fandom, right? So
You want to be more specific with that, David?
Superman, Max Fleischer cartoons. I was like 4 years old.
Okay.
Born in Korea, I was watching Superman cartoons and a Korean-Japanese character called Hangubakchi, and that was my first exposure to superheroes. And then when we immigrated to the United States when I was 5, it was really awesome that they had Superman here as well. So I felt like there was a bit of continuity between what I grew up with and what I believed to be part of Korean pop culture and what I saw here in America. It was great. And so I just really kept diving into the world of comics because of watching those animated series. Yeah.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, hands down. 8 years old.
Okay.
I was 8 years old. My brother got me the basic D&D set.
What was your character class?
In true ADHD form, I was a multi-class. It was full cleric, fighter, magic user. Her name was Alana. Like, I remember the whole thing. I drew her, and I drew her after this female bodybuilder that I loved. I was in it.
We still.
I was in it.
Comic book wise, my first fandom was the Archies. Yeah.
Who do you identify with most?
Oh, well, I would. I'd like to say Archie because he's like the lanky ginger, but I'm more of a Jughead, the awkward drummer. Yeah, but also fandom wise, the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. I was 18 years old. I was like, there are possibilities in making comic book movies. There are, and now I've been into quite a few myself. So I'm glad they paved the way. Yeah.
The first thing I was a fan of, I'm gonna show my age now. It was the mid '60s, Adam West and Burt Ward Batman. I was so into it that I remember that one day they actually had Adam West and Burt Ward come to our little small community pool, and I actually thought for years it was them. Right? They were just some guys that had come, but I was like, oh man, Batman and Robin came here. So I think Batman is a little bit like Star Trek. When you say, who's your captain? You can actually say, who's your Batman? For me, Adam West, that was it. I bought the cars, I bought the toys, I bought the and I had the pleasure of meeting Adam West later, and he's just super cool, right? So that sort of started it when I'm about maybe six years old. It's 6 years old, and I haven't looked back. So,
I mean, the original series. I mean, TOS. How do you go back to that? I mean, TOS. Next gen.
What is the first time, if ever, you felt represented on screen?
All right, it's gonna sound weird, but Wonder Woman. And it wasn't, and it obviously, she's the only thing I saw in her that was the same as me. She's a woman and she's brunette and she's strong and she's the lead. She's the superhero. She's not the sidekick. When I was a little girl, again, when I was 8, it was a good year. I dressed up as her. I connected with her. I loved everything about her. I loved that she was smart. I loved that she was powerful. I loved that she had feelings. There was nothing about her that said, I have to be manly to be able to be a superhero next to men. That's what I loved about her. And she was really hot. Let's face it, it's wonderful.
I know.
Oh gosh, yeah, I think I've always been represented, but not necessarily in a positive way, right? Yeah, no, growing up, there's a lot of very hurtful
Stereotypes?
Yeah. Or like even Charlie Chan, right? I used to watch that show, and it was all white. I was a white person playing that character. So
I love that you say it like it's a dirty word.
Yeah. So no. So but I think we've made great strides, obviously, And I'm very happy with the way DC has really evolved their universe, so that really reflects the audience, the global audience that we have. I think we still have a lot of work ahead of us. I think we still have a dearth of Asian characters in general. But the good news is that we have a lot of very talented creators that want to build on the mythology, and people are hungry to create content, and that's great. Yeah.